Hello everyone and welcome to a comparison video between DCS and IL2. In this video I want to compare 1v1 dogfighting between myself in a Spitfire Mark 9 and the AI in a Focke-Wulf 190A8. I am going to do a bit of preamble before these dogfights are shown. If you want to skip all the intro material, please select from the timestamps in the description below. Hopefully that will resolve any complaints about me not getting on with it. For those of you who do want to listen to the preamble, I think it's quite important. I'm going to lay out my settings and my expectations for these dogfights, and I think this is all important contextual information. I will be conducting these dogfight demonstrations at two different altitudes. Firstly, we will look at fighting at high altitude, so that's 9,000 meters or approximately 30,000 feet. And then we're going to go down to 250 to 300 meters and conduct a set of dogfights at low level. The reason I've chosen these two different heights to conduct the dogfights is to showcase whether or not the AI will fly differently due to the differences in relative performance between the aircraft at the two chosen altitudes. Before I get on with showing these two tests, I want to discuss a little bit about expectations. What I expect to happen in these two fights will be different depending on the altitude. At high altitude, at 30,000 feet, I expect that the 190 will have a speed and power disadvantage over the Spitfire. So I expect the 190 pilot to not be able to use the vertical, certainly going up, to gain any kind of advantage, and he should be required to dive in order to gain airspeed over the Spitfire. What I'd really like to see is that the 190 pilot tries to bring the fight down to about 23,000 feet. The Spitfire should have horizontal turning advantage at all altitudes, so I don't really want to see the 190 going around in horizontal circles. I want to see him diving down to altitudes where he does have the power and speed, and then to use the vertical to try and throw me off. At 3,000 feet, I expect the 190 to focus almost entirely on vertical components to his maneuvering. At low altitudes, the 190 should match and even be better than the Spitfire in straight line speed and in the climb. So I expect the 190 to use those attributes. At low level, I should still be able to outturn the 190, and so I should be able to remain elusive in the Spitfire, but I would expect that gaining the advantage over the 190 at low levels is going to be significantly harder than it will be at high altitude. As a final note, I will also be looking at whether or not the AI reacts to changes in what I'm doing. I want to see if the AI will react to changes to his aircraft. That is, if I damage him, I expect him to react. And I will be making some observations about the damage modeling itself. I have a bit of a feeling that the IL2 aircraft are far too easy to damage, and the smallest amount of hits will almost completely destroy those aircraft, whilst at the same time DCS is quite famous for having a rather poor damage model that is unresponsive to fire. So we want to see how much of those opinions hold up in these tests, and we also want to see whether the AI will react to the damage that is inflicted. Each of IL2 and DCS has 4 skill levels for the AI pilots. In IL2, these are referred to as novice, average, veteran, and ace. And in DCS, these are referred to as average, good, high, and excellent. In order to have the most level playing field, I have decided to select the second highest skill level for the AI in both sims. So for IL2, that will be veteran skill level, and in DCS, that will be high skill level. Conditions for all of the tests will be clear, cloudless skies during summer with no cloud and no wind, and the daytime will be midday. We're about to start the first series of engagements. This is an IL2 at 9,000 meters, so just shy of Angels 3-0. And the Focke-Wulf is a couple of kilometers ahead of me. So let's get started and see how this fight plays out. I can just see his contrail developing there. We're going head on at the moment, and he has adopted a left-hand turn to begin with in the horizontal. There he goes, horizontal. And for some reason he's waggling his wings as well. So I'm just going to go horizontal as well and a little bit vertical. And basically cut off his turn and roll over the top. There he goes. Now, let's see what he does. He should know that I'm right behind him. And let's see if I start gaining on him. I'm just dropping down here, which makes it look like he's going into the vertical, but I don't think he is. He is maintaining, yeah, a level left turn. Now that's probably a very bad idea in the Focke-Wulf 190-8 against a Spitfire at this altitude. And as you can see, I am now very quickly gaining on him. It's time for you to react, old boy. You need to do something. You need to do something, and you need to do it now. Okay, I'm even going to pull lead here just to show him how much of an advantage I have at this altitude. Nothing. Come on, old chap, do something. Your life is at stake. Dive. Nothing. And now I'm in a gun solution, and he's finally reacted. Oh, well done, old chap. Okay, so they wait for you to basically get into a gun solution. Now he's diving. Is he going to dive away and try and get me into a elongated dive where he should be able to pull away from me? No, he's not. He's decided to pull up. Okay, oh dear, that was a bad idea. Now he's in the horizontal and he's winged over back into the vertical, which is okay, but he's not getting away from me here because he keeps doing this. He keeps keeping the pressure on the elevators. I'm blacking out. I wonder if he's blacking out. I don't know if the AI also blacks out. He's now inverted again. And he's now pushing forward on the stick in the inverted position. That is very bizarre behavior. He may be blacked out here. Oops. Rounds are just falling short. Okay, splash on his port wing. And one on the tail. He's still inverted. He can't still be blacked out, surely. What the hell? Streaming glycol. I have no idea what's just happened with this guy. I think he may have blacked out by going into those vertical maneuvers. Oh, I'm blacking out too. Gently back on the stick. I'm on 0 throttle here. 0 throttle. Wow, very unstable. He's gone in. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. That was rather bizarre. He let me gain on him and didn't react until I got into guns range with a very, very solid solution. At that point he flipped over. He went into an inverted situation, and then he pulled back, and then he did that again, and then he just stopped mid-air, inverted with the stick pushed forward, and 1 or 2 rounds of ammunition seemed to have maybe killed him. I have no idea what happened, and that was the end of the fight. Rather bizarre. Let's try again and see if we can get a different result the second time around. Take 2 now of the same fight up at about 30,000 feet. Let's unpause and see the enemy coming straight towards me here, and he's done the same thing again, which is to brake left. So I'm going to brake right into the horizontal, and we'll just keep an eye on him. There he is. So he's done exactly the same maneuver, and I'm going to just roll back into his direction of turn now, and we are in the same situation again. So, is he going to allow me to simply creep up on him? Being gentle, rather gentle on the controls here, just to bring the aircraft around. So I'm now on his long 6, which is not a good idea for him. And he is maintaining a left-hand horizontal turn with a small amount of aileron in. Oh, he's about 30 degrees left wing down, which isn't too bad, maybe a bit more. But I'm gaining on him rapidly. Now, he should be reacting already to this, which he's not doing. In fact, I can pull much further around this corner and basically scribe an arc across here and roll my wings level. This will give me a significant advantage. Look at that, I'm closing so rapidly here. In fact, I'm gonna have to throttle back. Ducka, 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 ducka. He's waggling his wings for some reason, but he's not really reacting. He's just waggling his wings and deciding to go straight. So he's presenting me with a target. Okay, there's no excuse for this, really. I'm just sitting here in his blind spot. He knows I'm here because my contrail's bleeding out the back. Are you going to react, old boy? I need right rudder. Oh. And the very shortest of burst once again. And it looks like everything here is over. Is he going into a terminal dive? He has engine stopped. I don't know how that hit his engine because it looked like those rounds just landed on the back of the aeroplane and he's decided to bail out. So there we go. Almost played out exactly the same as before, but this time he didn't even do any kind of horizontal maneuvers. He just let me creep up right on his ass, and then the tiniest of bursts, and his aircraft has been disabled. Conducting the test in DCS now at 30,000 feet, 9,000 meters actually, and let's get started. I've got the aircraft contrail just off to the right of my nose here. And let's see how he reacts. He's coming head on. Now, is he going to just turn away like we saw in... Shit, he's actually already firing at me. Okay, well, that's different. Now, he is going into this left-hand turn, which is exactly what we saw in IL2. So I'm going to go up here. And I've got a bit of a speed advantage over here, which has actually allowed me to get on top of him. And now dive down. He's dropping away. Where has he gone? Over there. And now he's pulling up. Okay. And now he's reversing his turn to head back in the opposite direction. And he's in fact rolling inverted over the top of me. Okay. That's a different tactic. And now descending away. I'm gaining on him in the dive though. So is he going to allow me to continue diving? I can get some shots away here. And there we go. Hit his engine and knocked him out. So he tried to go into a vertical maneuver after reversing his turn in front of me, but unfortunately for him, and just like in IL2, he has presented me with a rather easy target, and as I closed, he refused to do any kind of maneuvering, and his engine was knocked out with the first burst. Game over. Okay, take 2 in DCS. This time I've got to remember that he may try and do a head-on shot. So I've just got to be wary of this head-on pass here, because he actually will engage me before we've completely merged. So I'm going to try and get out of his... Right, just had to maneuver out of his possible line of fire. He's dropped away this time, but he's gone into that left-hand turn. So... let's bring the Spitfire around, just keeping it nice and gentle here, same as before. He's underneath me and he's now dropped below contrail height, and he might do the same thing he did before, which is go into a climb, which he's doing. Let's see if he reverses his turn. He's now actually going quite steeply up in front of me, and there's that turn reversal which we saw last time. Maybe I'll get a shot off here. Not quite. Okay, now, is he going to... No, he's not doing the same thing. He's now reversed his turn back again. Okay, so that's different. And I'll see if he lets me close on his 6. It appears that he is doing so. Yeah, I'm closing quite rapidly. This is the speed advantage the Spitfire has up here. Oof. Turbulence. He's now rolling in front of me. Okay, hits on his aircraft there. Possibly one cannon round. And he is trying to maneuver a little bit. Hits on his left wing. Okay, he's maneuvering around a little bit, but oof, it's not very convincing. He's just kind of winging left and right in front of me. Now he's gone into the vertical. Will he remain in the vertical? No. He's gone into a right-hand turn, but he still doesn't have much airspeed over me. He's now presenting a kill shot. He needs to react to this. I'll pull some lead, see if he's reacted. Nope, he doesn't react. Okay, so this is pretty dangerous flying on his behalf. He is going a little bit into the vertical, but I'm gaining far too quickly here. He should be very unhappy about the situation. A couple more splashes on his airframe. And he's actually allowed me to overshoot there. That was nice. He dropped the throttle, and I think that was deliberate, or I'm not sure if that was just because I had such superior closing speed. And now he's going into the vertical again. Okay, so this isn't terrible. His initial maneuvers were quite poor, but as time's gone by, he has actually picked up his game a little bit. And that forcing me to overshoot. Now, whether that was intentional or not, or whether it was just because the 109, the 190 is so much slower up here, I'm not sure. Now, he should be at an altitude now where he has roughly equivalent performance. We've dropped down to still 27.5. Down at about 23,000, he will have performance equivalence in terms of airspeed. You can see he's now gone into a vertical. He's rolling over the top. That was a terrible shot. I'm actually low on airspeed here, and he's dropped down in front of me again, which was not a great idea. Spitfire is still pretty unstable up here in DCS. As we get lower and lower, I will get increasingly confident with the maneuvering, but he's also pretty unstable. Now he's allowing me to close on him again. Got to be careful I don't overshoot again here, so I'm just throttling back. Okay, he's given me a solution. More hits on the back. Oh, that's the turbulence. Got into his wake there. And he's chopped the throttle again. This time I've chopped my throttle as well. So that's to avoid the overshoot. I think that might be a deliberate tactic. Oh, he's bailed. He's decided to bail out. Now, it's possible that he broke something when the maneuvering. I'm not seeing anything in the way of damaged decals, but the pilot bailed out. He may have been injured, or the continued maneuvering after he got damaged may have further broken something. But you can see now that aeroplane is pilotless and is going to smack into the channel. And you can see I've also broken my aeroplane from the repeated maneuvering has weakened my aircraft as well. And by pointing my nose at the ground there rather than flying the aeroplane to watch him go down, I have pulled too high G and also broken my machine. But there we go. 2 dogfights with the 190s in DCS and 2 dogfights with the 190s in IL2. Let's drop down to the deck now to see how things play out at low altitudes. Here we are in IL2 at low level. Let's unpause and find the bandit, who should be dead ahead. Okay, there he is. So we're going to close. Oh, he's already started firing. That's interesting. I'll just do a sort of barrel-ish maneuver. Okay, he's gone into what looks like a right-hand level turn. He's maintaining that turn. Yep. Okay, I'm going to throttle back. Going to use my superior turning ability here to get in behind him. So at high altitude we had left-hand horizontal turns, I believe, and now we seem to have a right-hand turn. And I'm very, very quickly gaining on him. You can see I've got a significant turn performance. He's really not pushing that engine. Should be much faster, or at least as fast as me down here. He's also doing a very strange rocking motion where he looks like he's going to correct and go and change his flight path or go into a new maneuver, but then he just carries on doing what he's doing. That's making his turn slower than it needs to be, and it's not actually doing anything at all. I don't know why he's doing that. Okay, he should have reacted now. This is quite poor. And I could just sit here all day. I could shoot him now. I would just pull a little bit of lead up to about there, get some rounds away, and he would be toast. I'm just going to lag turn a little bit so I get better position behind him, and we'll try and fire off a couple of rounds. I'll try and keep as minimal a burst as possible here, just to see what happens, see if he reacts to being hit. Oh, he's actually going up a little bit, but that makes life a bit easier. Whoops. Let's just get that. Okay, so I think we hit the trailing edge of either wing, and he's suddenly... Oh, God, are you kidding me? Okay, I've got to admit, this is a little bit embarrassing. The way that aircraft just completely folded in half after the smallest possible burst I could fire, and those rounds really did appear to hit on the trailing edge of the wings. And for some reason, the aircraft just completely imploded. Okay, let's have another look at this and see if it's going to happen any differently a second time around. Take 2 in IL2. Here we go. Let's see if our friend will do something a little less idiotic this time. I'm going to try and maneuver early. He seems to be quite keen on this head-on pass. There's the fire again. And what's he doing now? He's gone into a left-hand turn. He is climbing a fraction though. And now he's leveled off. Oh, please, not again. So he should have better airspeed than me down at this altitude. That 109, that 190 A8 is quick down here. Sorry, I just overturned there because I was too busy watching him rather than flying my aeroplane. So even though I made a massive mistake there and effectively flicked my aeroplane out of the turn, he has just maintained this left-hand turn. And just with a little bit of back pressure on the stick, it's so easy to turn this thing around. I've now gained on him. Oh, hello, what was that? Was that it? No. Oh, it's just the wing waggle again. Okay, so they do this weird wing waggle thing and then they just continue doing what they were doing. Oh, change of direction. It's very, very jerky though. It's really unsmooth. It's like the AI is making decisions as they go. Maybe this is the preferred direction and he just decides after a certain amount of time, I really want to turn to the right. But we're basically in exactly the same position we were in the first of these two tests. I'm going to fire a couple of rounds shortly, so a bit of lag just so I get better behind him. And then I'll just pull some lead and try and get some rounds off here if I can get the Spitfire stable. Okay, here we go. That was on the top of the tail, just where the two stabilizers cross over each other. No effect so far. So, getting hit didn't seem to worry him. And now I've slowed down and he's just gone into another horizontal left-hand turn. I can't see specifically if any damage was done, but we'll make another look. And here we are, already gaining. No effort to use the vertical at all to this point. He's maintaining this horizontal turn. He's actually going around relatively quickly here, but nothing the Spitfire can't handle. Is he going to go up now? Go on, go up. Go up. No, another horizontal turn, this time to the right. There's that weird wing waggle. Okay, let's try and get some hits off now. I'll go about there. That was on the fuselage behind the cockpit, but forward of the tail. And I think it was just one round from the right-hand side that hit him. He actually did go up for the first time. He went vertical, so he's done a kind of vertical rolling maneuver. He's now stalled the aeroplane, and he is now no longer flying. I'm just going to make sure I don't crash into the ground here. I think he's gone in. Yep.
Leader, search for enemy aircraft. Free to engage. Out.
So we've got a low-level fight now in DCS. Here comes the 190. He is just a little bit above me, and we'll see whether he tries to fire off some rounds. Nope. Okay, he didn't try to engage that time, and he's gone into this left-hand turn, which is the same maneuver we saw up at altitude. So exactly the same routine by the looks of it. And he's actually trying to get his nose up on me there. And now he's going into this vertical maneuver. And instead of winging over right, which is what he did at high altitude, he's actually looking to maintain that climb now and gain a vertical advantage over me, which he's done quite well. I'm just making sure I stay slow here so I don't get in front of him. Okay. And he's actually going to turn inside me potentially here. Oh. Okay. He did let me get almost a firing solution, but not quite. And now he's using the vertical. So this is what I expect the 190 to use at lower altitudes here, where he's got a bit of a performance advantage over me. And in fact, he's doing a very good job of it. You can see there now he's right above me, and he may actually get a solution here. No, he's not going to. I've managed to keep him in front of me, and he's dropping away underneath, and I expect him now to continue the vertical maneuvering. He's still descending, and we'll see if he comes back up. Here he goes, back into the vertical. Possibly he'll be able to outclimb me here. I'm just going to give my aircraft a bit of a boost, and he's rolling over the top and climbing away again. So he's definitely using the vertical here to try and gain some kind of solution on me. And I can't catch him. So as long as he just keeps operating above me, I won't be able to catch him. But here's a chance. I've got to act quickly here. I'll roll the other way. He's right next to me. Up he goes again. So he's trying to fall behind me each time, but I'm just managing to keep him out in front. There he goes, rolling the wings back in the reverse direction. I don't have the airspeed. I'm not pulling my nose up. There's a reason I'm not doing that. That's because if I do, this aircraft will stall out very quickly, which has just about happened there. I only just held onto my airspeed. I'm using the rudder just to bring the nose around there. If I pull up and try and get my nose on him, this aircraft will fall out of the sky. I'm already at 18 pounds boost and 2800 RPM, so I can't push this thing much further. I've just let him drop behind me now, so I'm just going to change up the approach a little bit, and we may be in a head-on situation in a second. I'll drop below. He just tried to yank it round there to get a solution, and now we're back in the horizontal because I just disengaged kind of, and now we're in the horizontal plane. So he's now doing horizontal turns, and there's the Spitfire's advantage in the turn. Missed. Let's see if he now chooses to try and go back into the vertical now that I'm on a 6. Yes, he does. Okay, so that's pretty smart flying from the AI. Although I think I can close with him now. I've got 160 airspeed. Now my airspeed's dropping off. I'm stalling now. Yeah. Oh dear, I've stalled. Yeah. I'm no longer flying. You can see my aircraft's actually falling out the sky, so I have to bring the... Oh, and I've blown the engine. So there we go. He's got me with my nose up into the vertical, and as a result of having 0 airspeed and high RPM and high throttle, as well as having the engine hot from the fight we were already in, my engine has now died, and here he comes. Gets a hit on me. And I'm going to chalk that up as a win for the AI. Take 2 then in DCS at low level. Let's get some airspeed and trim the airplane out. Jerry's dead ahead. You can see him over there. And I'll see if I can get some hits on this head-on pass maybe. He's lining up. We're both lining up directly on each other. I'm going to try and fire first. Okay, I touched his left wing. He actually did rock his wings there. And he is going to his left, but he's going vertical. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of altitude here. But I don't want to get too slow. I want to try and keep the airspeed up above 200. He's now dropping down behind me, so I can lower the nose. Okay, I'm going to try and force him into a gentle dive. So he's about 800 yards back maybe. And he's going into a heavy left hand there for some reason. Looks like he's trying to cut off my corner. So I'm going to go right. See if I can get him in a right hand turn. Okay, he's already adjusted and he's actually trying to cut the corner. Yep, he's cutting the corner. Well done. And he's got lead on me. Okay, he bled off a lot of his energy, but he did actually get a lead and he was able to get some rounds off, and he just tapped me with MGs. I've lost sight of him for the moment. He went underneath me, I think. There he is, diving away over there by the town. Now he's climbing out to sea. So he's going back into the vertical. I'll stay low and fast. And keep an eye on him. He is going to drop down behind me now. I think there he goes. And now he's trying to turn in the horizontal, but straight away he realizes he can't get a solution, so he goes back up into the vertical. So he's just going to keep rolling up over the top of me here. I do not want to get my nose up because I don't want to blow this engine. I've been operating at only about 200 miles per hour now for a little bit, so if I go nose up, the engine's already hot. If I go nose up with the engine at high RPM and high boost, I will pop it very quickly. So I've just got to make sure that I stay low and fast-ish. And he's now coming over the top again. Looks like this is reversing his turn. He's just keeping that airplane away from me by going up. And now he'll go up again. I'm not going to follow him. I'm not going to follow him over there. He's just gone inverted and now he's dropping on my 6. Here he comes. He's actually pretty close in. I'm going to have to turn rapidly here. Wow. He nearly had me. He's already up. So quickly he pulled that nose up and he's going to go inverted. He might get a solution. No, he won't. He's dropped down behind. Right, just give the engine a tiny break. That was a commitment from him, I think, to try and get a solution, and he just made a bit of a mistake. Here we are head on. Should have got him there. That was a shame. Okay, but he is vertical again already. I was able to give my engine a short break there, which I do appreciate. So he's toying with me. This is the difference, the massive difference between the low altitude and the high altitude flying. This is the same 2 airframes here, but you can really see that at high altitude I was all over these guys, but at low altitude it's much more of a fight, and I've got to be very careful with how I manage this Merlin down here. flash of sun glare there off his... Is that enough? Have I done enough here to get a firing solution? Oh, lost sight of him. He turned away. That's rare. Is he going to drop behind me? He is. What way is he going? That way. I'll try and cut him off by rolling inverted and putting him out in front of me. Okay, this is better. Oh, I think I might have him here. He's going to struggle to level out there. Okay, this is good. Reversing my turn when I did then just confused him a little bit. See if I can get shots off. Not sure if I managed to hit him. He was underneath my engine cowling, but so long as he doesn't get me nose up, I'm going to sit on a 6 here. Let's see how much energy he's got. What's my airspeed? 140. Oh dear. Okay, boost back, boost back, boost back. I think he's stalled. Oh, he's on my 6. Well done. Yeah, well done, AI. That was nice flying. But he did sacrifice a lot of energy to do that. I think he may have chopped the throttle. Now, full boost as my nose is down. Lost sight of him. Damn. That was my chance to get on a 6 there, but I lost sight. And now he's behind me. Cheeky bugger. This is a really nice fight. This is extending out for quite some time. He's been using the vertical. Now he's in the horizontal with lead on me. He should fire here. Nope, no shots away. And now he should go back into the vertical. He's not. Or is he? He's maintaining the same altitude as me. Now he's got back into the vertical. Down he goes. He should go up now. He's gained a lot of energy doing that. This is his second boom and zoom. There he goes on his second climb. But I might get a solution. Lower that throttle, drop the throttle, drop the throttle, drop the throttle. No, not enough. Not enough deflection. I can't afford to go high throttle because I'll just blow the engine. So I had to boost right back. Okay, nose is down, full boost. This is the first time I've been kind of on a 6 in a relatively good position. I'm going to just drop the boost as we go up around the loop here. As the airspeed comes off, I have to bring the boost back. Oh, this is good. Finally in a good position. And boost on as we go into the dive. Got to manage the throttle very carefully. He has me on a 6 now. Let's see how he reacts. He's going to keep doing this. Airspeed's good. Coming back to 200. Off on the boost. Got a solution here. Coming up. Off on the boost. Off on the... He stalled. Yeah, he's dropped his throttle back. And there we go. Sliced off his left wing. Zero my throttle. Let the aeroplane stall. Let it regain stability. And there's a fuselage and a starboard wing spinning down to its doom. Pilot did not bail out. That second fight was really entertaining. It was quite fun fighting against these guys down at low level here, where they've got a bit of a performance advantage and they use both the vertical and the horizontal with more effect. Also changing their turns, doing reversals, going inverted, doing zoom and booms, getting some shots off occasionally as well. So quite a nice, entertaining scrap at low level.